Before we begin, I need to ask you something. Have you ever had the feeling that someone was watching you through the door, even when you didn't hear a single sound? Yeah, I used to think that was just paranoia until I found out that, in my case, it was real. And worse, it didn't start that night. It had been happening long before I was 16 years old when this happened. It was a Friday night, and my mom had gone to work the late shift at the clinic. It wasn't unusual. She always came home late, so I ordered a pizza, put a movie on my computer, and stayed in the living room while I waited. It was winter, a silence so heavy outside that even the wind seemed to avoid our street. That's when I heard the doorbell. It wasn't a normal ring. It was a short, sharp tap, almost like someone barely touched the button and pulled their finger away immediately. At first, I thought it was the delivery guy, but when I looked through the peephole, there was no one there. The hallway was completely empty for some reason that made my skin crawl. I stepped back twice, trying to steady my breathing, and then came the second ring. The same short sound, the same silence afterward, the same empty hallway when I checked again. That was the moment I felt, for the first time, that something was wrong. Deeply wrong. I called my mom, shaking. She picked up immediately, worried, and told me she was already on her way, that she would leave right then. She told me to go to my room and lock the door from the inside. As I went up the stairs, I heard something that made me stop halfway. A faint metallic sound coming from the front door, like someone was messing with the lock. I froze. For minutes, I just stood there, listening to that slow, careful scraping, as if the person was trying to open the door without making noise. When I finally managed to move, I ran to my room, shut the door, and pushed my dresser against it. My breathing was so heavy I thought I might pass out. The scraping stopped. Silence returned. But now, it was so much worse. I sat on the floor, hugging my knees, listening to every creak in the house. And then, suddenly, the front door closed, not like it had been pushed by the wind, but like someone had closed it while leaving. About 10 minutes after hearing the front door shut, my mom finally arrived, running, almost tripping over herself. She opened my bedroom door with her hand shaking and hugged me so tight I could feel her heartbeat pounding against mine. The police arrived in less than 5 minutes. They searched every corner of the house, every room, every window, and they found absolutely nothing. No signs of forced entry, no scratched glass, no footprints in the snow outside. Nothing. One of the officers, an older guy, whispered to my mom, "Are you sure the door was locked when you left?" My mom nodded. I knew it too. I had checked it myself before ordering the pizza. That's when the officer looked at the front door's lock and frowned. He asked everyone to step back and shined his flashlight on the keyhole. There was a thin scratch, almost invisible, right beside the key entry. A mark so small only someone trained would notice it. The officer took a deep breath. "This isn't recent." My mom looked confused. "What do you mean?" Without taking his eyes off the lock, he replied, "This scratch is from repeated use. Someone has tried to unlock this door before more than once." My stomach dropped. Then he stood up and said a sentence I'll never forget. "Someone already knew how to get into this house." That night I tried to sleep with my mom next to me, but while the wind hit the windows, a memory cut through me like a blade That doorbell sound, short, sharp, almost like a signal, familiar in a way I couldn't explain. I had heard that ring before. It wasn't the first time. And when that hit me, when I realized that this wasn't an accidental encounter but a pattern, that was the moment I understood. He didn't come to try to get in that night. He came to try to get in again. And I still don't know how many times he stood out there, waiting for the moment I would be alone.